I'm the scumbag alpha heartbreaker in that infamous forum post. According to the plot, I was supposed to unlock steamy scenarios at home with the sunny younger guy, flirt shamelessly at work with my cold, uptight secretary, and get wild at the bar with a sexy lead singer. Meanwhile, my gorgeous husband, fed up with my constant affairs, was meant to spiral into despair, then eventually fall into the arms of a gentle college professor, setting off a textbook forbidden romance. There was even a classic line written in, "Darling, when are you getting a divorce? I don't want to be the other man anymore." But something went wrong. My husband refuses to follow the script. No matter how far I stray, he clings to me with sweet words and gentle eyes, whispering that he still loves me. Until I finally utter the word, divorce. That's when the perfect househusband snapped, morphing into something dark and terrifying. He sank his teeth hard into my shoulder, his voice trembling with fury. "Baby, you said you liked obedient ones, right? I've been pretending for so long, being gentle, thoughtful, understanding. But now you want a divorce? What do you want, my life?" Welcome to He History channel. Subscribe to follow all our latest adventures. Story begins. Honestly, for someone like me, a side character typecast as the scumbag seme, the worst kind of world to land in is a no-bottom-line smut plot. When I first arrived, I skimmed through the do it anywhere, do it anytime synopsis and nearly blacked out. Come on. I'm straight. It's bad enough I've been married off to a man, but now I'm also the infamous Playboy of the story. The plot survives on nothing but carnal tension, and there's so much spice I'm practically getting motion sickness just being in it. Meanwhile, that morally bankrupt system keeps dangling promises in front of me, saying flatly, "Host, just hang in there. Finish this storyline and you'll earn enough points to go home." Internally, I'm bawling. Do you really think sheer willpower is enough to get me through this? Right now, in the living room, Dominic Bell is shirtless, his skin glazed with a thin sheen of sweat. His cheeks are flushed, and he's panting softly as he turns his head to me. "Bro, can we take a break? I'm so tired." I wipe sweat off my forehead, breathing heavily but righteously. "This is nothing. Keep going. A real man never says he can't." Dominic lets out a frustrated whimper and obediently lowers himself again, arms trembling as he resumes. "The plank. We're working out." According to the story, Dominic Bell is supposed to be the first person I cheat with. While my husband Mark Tyler is out of the house, Dominic and I are meant to be striking sparks all over the place, unlocking spicy scenes left and right. But the thing is, I'm a decent, upstanding, heterosexual man. There's no way I'm going down the scumbag route. So I found a loophole: fitness scenes. I've been unlocking every single one with Dominic. I'm betting Mark Tyler is outside the door, eavesdropping, so I deliberately raise my voice and adopt a flirtatious tone. "Dominic, one more round, okay?" Dominic, on the verge of tears, pleads in a wavering voice. Please, just one last time. I can't anymore. My legs are jelly." "Be good. Hang in there." I cheer him on while straining to hear any noise at the door. If my guess is right, my husband is out there right now, heartbreaking, tears streaming, walking away in devastation, only to be caught and comforted by that gentle, waiting professor next door. After I see Dominic Bell off, wobbling down the hallway, I collapse on the carpet, utterly drained. That's when Mark Tyler makes his appearance, pretending he just got home. He's in a soft beige sweater, features gentle and refined, carrying a grocery bag like the picture-perfect husband. Casually he asks, "Ramon, I called you several times. Why didn't you pick up?" I lie there like a corpse and answer flatly, "Busy." Then, slipping into character, I snap, "I'm hungry. Go cook." As he sets the groceries down and walks toward me, I time it just right, unbuttoning my pajama top to expose my collarbone and the red bruises beneath. God knows how much I had to pinch myself for those marks. I nearly cried from the pain. Mark's eyes fall on the bruises. But all he says is, "Did you shower, Ramon?" I pile it on, voice deliberately lazy. "Yeah, I did. Dominic came by. He's got great stamina." I got all sweaty. Huge, obvious hint. "Come on. I'm basically yelling I just fooled around at home. Mark doesn't respond right away. He crouches down and touches my ankle. I flinch. He mutters, "Why are your feet so cold?" Then he gets up, fetches socks and slippers, and puts them on me without asking. He frowns. "Ramon, how many times do I have to tell you? Don't walk around barefoot, you'll catch a cold." I stare at him, flabbergasted. "Mark Tyler." I said Dominic Bell came over. Dominic Bell. The guy who's always trailing behind me like a puppy. This is your cue. Get jealous. Be heartbroken. Set up the angst for your future betrayal arc. Mark furrows his brows and looks genuinely confused. Okay, and? What about it? I roll my eyes. Is he an idiot? Still worrying about my cold feet when he's supposed to be catching me cheating? God, I hate characters who get all soft when in love. That night in bed, I absent-mindedly swing my leg over Mark's body like usual. Just as I'm drifting off, I feel him shift closer, arms sliding around me, lips pressing softly against mine. Holy shit, my husband smells amazing. I'm straight. His lips are soft, like jelly. Shut up. I'm straight. The kiss muddles my brain. I end up responding just a little. Mark freezes. His breathing quickens. The hand resting politely on my waist slips under my shirt, blazing a trail downward. His breath brushes my ear as he murmurs, voice deep and seductive. "Ramon, can we go all the way tonight?" One of his fingers hooks the waistband of my sleep pants and tugs. The sudden cool air against my thigh snaps me back to reality. I press his hand down, wide awake. I try to sit up in a dramatic flail, but barely manage a twitch. I end up awkwardly inching backward. Nope. Definitely not. Mark's eyes are red. He pants heavily, voice hoarse. Still not okay? His gaze flicks downward, meaningfully. "Ramon, you're already this worked up. Still can't?" I look down. God damn it. Betrayed by my own body. I force myself to stay calm. I shove him off and yank my pants back up in a frenzy, heart pounding. Then I put on my best cold scumbag expression. "I'm tired. Not interested. Don't start drama. Handle it yourself." With that, I roll over and show him the back of my head. Mark sighs softly and heads for the bathroom. We've been married for a year. We sleep in the same bed every night, but every time he tries to take things further, I shut it down at the last minute, pretending I've had my fill outside and have no interest left for him. Because, honestly, I really am straight. The closest we ever got was a complete accident. That night, someone tricked me into drinking spiked alcohol. I was soaking in the bathtub for ages, trying to cool down, but nothing worked. Eventually, Mark got worried and came in. In my daze, I saw his soft lips and warm gaze, and I kissed him. Mid-kiss, I kept muttering, "No, no, no." Mark, already burning up, tried to take it further, but I kept shouting, "No." Then he tried to pull away and call a doctor, and I wailed, "Don't you dare leave." In the end, he was left with no choice. He pressed his forehead to mine, trembling, and asked, "Ramon, mouth or hand? You choose." It haunted me for a month straight. Every dream was the same, his lips slightly swollen, his voice low and breathy as he asked over and over, "Can I, baby?" Mark Tyler came out of the bathroom and slipped into bed, wrapping his arms around me from behind. Before I could wriggle away, he murmured softly into my ear, full of wounded affection, "I just want to hold you. Don't push me away again. Ramon, I love you so much. Do you love me?" I shut my eyes and pretended to sleep, frozen still. Of course I didn't sleep well. I had no energy at all the next morning. After a long meeting, I couldn't take it anymore. I snuck back into my office, collapsed into my chair, and tried to catch a quick nap. I was just drifting off when I felt a hand, sliding from the nape of my neck down to my chest, and still moving lower. Still groggy, I frowned and mumbled, "Ben Alexander, why are you taking off my shirt?" Right on cue, the system popped up, gleeful as ever. "Whilst he's hitting his plot beats, flirting with you, of course." I shot awake in terror. There he was, my stoic and reserved secretary Ben Alexander, loosening his tie with one hand, eyes burning straight through me. He leaned in, so close I could feel his breath against my skin. "Mr. Bailey, I really like you. And I think you've shown interest in me too, haven't you? I know you're married, but if it's you, I don't mind." Holy hell. This plotline really doesn't hold back, coming at me with the whole "I don't mind being your side lover" routine like it's some kind of romantic sacrifice. My scalp prickled. Dominic Bell, at least, had been half-tricked by the original version of me. But Ben Alexander? He was charging in full throttle. How was I supposed to make Mark Tyler think I was having an affair while still keeping myself perfectly innocent? My brain was spinning. I exploded at the system. This is your fault. If you hadn't thrown me into this chaotic mess of a smutfic, would I, a 100% straight man, be suffering like this? Mentally and physically? The system snapped back. This arc has insane bonus points. One of these scenes is worth 5 from the others. I'm just trying to get you home faster. So ungrateful. I was still frozen in panic, and Ben took that as permission. His gaze darkened. He dropped to one knee and reached for my belt buckle. "What the?" I screamed, bolting upright and flipping the coffee mug off my desk in the process. Scalding liquid splashed across my shirt. My once pristine white dress shirt? Ruined. "Mr. Bailey!" Ben yelped, leaping up. He grabbed tissues and started frantically dabbing at me. "Ben Alexander! Hands off!" I shouted, backing away, clutching my dripping pants. The scene was a disaster. "I'm so sorry, I got ahead of myself. Let me help clean it up." His cheeks flushed, whether from embarrassment or panic, I couldn't tell. But his hands didn't stop moving. The door burst open. Ben and I froze, both turning to look. Mark Tyler stood there quietly, a thermal lunchbox in hand. From where he stood, the image couldn't have been worse. My shirt was half unbuttoned and soaked, clinging to my skin in all the wrong places. Ben's hand was on my abdomen. His face was red. His posture, very compromising. Mark's gaze slowly swept over the wrecked office, over Ben's hand on me, and finally landed on my panicked expression. There was no saving this. Even if I jumped into the Hudson, I couldn't wash this off. Then again, wasn't this exactly what I wanted? For him to think I was cheating? Mark's face didn't change. But I saw the faint tightening of his fingers around the lunchbox handle. Then he smiled. "Ramon, how clumsy. Spilled your coffee all over the place?" Ben straightened up fast, voice trembling. "Mark, Mr. Tyler?" Mark stepped around him calmly, placed the lunchbox on the desk, and gently pulled my ruined shirt closed. "Ben Alexander, if you're going to help, help properly. No need to be so handsy." Then he looked up at Ben and smiled. But there was a weight behind it, something cold pressing in. "I'll take it from here. No need to trouble yourself further." Ben blanched, then flushed and quickly nodded. "Yes, Mr. Bailey. Mr. Tyler. I'll excuse myself." The door clicked shut. Mark helped me change, then handed me a pair of clean slacks and a set of utensils for lunch. Without a word, he started picking up the shards of the broken coffee mug on the floor. I peeked at him guiltily. "You saw? Ben and we just..." He didn't even look up. "I saw. Ben Alexander was helping you clean up coffee stains. He's young. A little eager. I'll remind him about boundaries." "That's how you interpreted it?" Mark interrupted gently. "Good thing the coffee had cooled down, or you might have gotten burned. Ramon, be more careful next time." Too calm. Too kind. It was as if that scene, one that would have sent any sane spouse into a fit, meant absolutely nothing. But I noticed the tremble in his fingers as he picked up the last shard. He was hurting. I'd really hurt him. I'd played so many roles in different worlds, so many villains, jerks, and disposable characters, I thought I'd grown numb. But this time? It stung. Because Mark Tyler, he wasn't like the others. But still, Mark, I'm sorry. I need to go home. His cooking was getting better, tailored to my taste. But I stared at the beef in my bowl, appetite gone. With a sigh, I pushed the bowl away. "I'm not hungry." Mark took the bowl without complaint, wiped my mouth with a tissue, and gently ruffled my hair. "Then don't eat. Go do something fun." Then he poured my leftovers into his own bowl and quietly finished them. The weather was getting colder. I was at my desk when my phone buzzed. Mark had sent a voice message. I tapped play, and his soft, nasal voice flowed out. Ramon, the temperature's dropping this afternoon. Your office faces the wind. Put on your coat, okay? I'll make soup tonight. I frowned. He was the one with the congestion? Was he the one catching a cold? I grabbed cold medicine from the break room, snatched up the coat draped over my chair, and headed out. I was already in the car before it hit me. What the hell was I doing? I'm supposed to be a cold, heartless bastard. Since when does a cheating alpha rush out to bring medicine and a coat just because his wife sounds a little congested? While driving, I rehearsed what I'd say when I saw him. Mark Tyler, don't get the wrong idea. I just don't want your cold infecting me. I happen to have business nearby, that's all. Don't overthink it. Yeah. That'd work. Cold tone. Impatient expression. Perfect. But just as I pulled up to his studio building, I saw him. Mark Tyler stepping out of a cafe, with someone beside him. So, refined. Gentle in manner and voice. Jack Herbert. I didn't need the system to tell me. That was the man who, in the original plot, would eventually bring Mark comfort and love after I wrecked his heart. Jack leaned toward him, saying something with a soft smile. Mark looked down at his hands, then gave a smile in return. That smile, so gentle, so familiar. Only this time, it wasn't for me. Jack reached to drape his jacket over Mark's shoulders. Mark shook his head, lifting a hand to refuse. From the way his lips moved, I could guess what he said. No need. You keep it on. I'm not cold. The two of them stood together, one refined, one soft and elegant, and God, they looked good together. I thought I wouldn't feel anything. This was supposed to happen. That was my role in the story, to push the plot forward, to deepen the emotional bond between the leads. Complete the mission. Earn my points. Go home. Everyone's happy. But the sharp pang in my chest, and the impulse to storm over and tear them apart, made it painfully clear. I cared. Just seeing them look at each other and smile made me unhappy. Deeply, bitterly unhappy. The system was practically vibrating with excitement. Key plot character Jack Herbert has initiated bonding with target Mark Tyler. Storyline progressing smoothly. Keep it up, host. Victory is within reach. I interrupted, bluntly. System, will Mark Tyler be happy? Later on, paused, a little thrown. You've read the script, haven't you? Of course he will. He'll walk away from this toxic chapter with you and fall blissfully into the arms of his true love, Professor Herbert. A perfect match. Picture book ending. I see. The ache in my chest made me stop walking. I leaned against the car, inhaling deeply, trying to swallow it down. Fine. I admit it. I like Mark Tyler. But, so what? Just like the system said, he'd be happier with someone else. And I had my own journey to finish. We were both meant to go our separate ways. The system suddenly went quiet, then exploded. Ramon Bailey, don't tell me, you've fallen for Mark Tyler? I told you when I first bound to you, no emotional entanglements with characters in these worlds. You're not staying. Falling in love will only hurt you. You've always been so good at detaching. Why are you slipping now? Don't forget why you're here. I looked ahead. Jack said something that made Mark laugh, that gentle, familiar smile lighting up his face, but this time, for someone else. I don't know. Maybe, it's just that Mark Tyler is too good of a person. My heart couldn't stay calm. The system kept ranting, warning me. I cut it off, too tired to argue. I haven't forgotten. I want to go home. And that's the truth. Feelings are unpredictable. Dangerous. Forbidden. I gripped the medicine bag and coat tighter, turned, and got back in the car. All those sharp pre-planned lines I'd rehearsed to say to him? I never got to use a single one. The engine roared to life. I pulled away from the curb. In the rearview mirror, their figures grew smaller, blurrier, until they disappeared from view altogether. I started sabotaging myself harder. Barely came home. Ignored calls. Responded to messages like I didn't care. The system was thrilled with my dedication. That's the spirit. Let him cry in an empty bed. Let him suffer. I grumbled back. Shut the hell up. After the 5th night I claimed to be working late on a company emergency, Mark Tyler finally showed up at my office. He looked tired but still put together, neat as ever. Ramon, can we talk? I didn't even look up. Busy. Is it me? Did I do something wrong? Just tell me, I'll fix it. Just don't ignore me. I pressed harder on the keyboard, using the sound to drown out the ache in his voice. You didn't do anything. I just don't want to come home. Okay. I looked up, made sure to glare. I'm sick of it. Seeing the same person every day, boring. I want space. Is that a good enough reason? Mark's face drained of color. His fingers twitched where they hung at his side, then relaxed. He took a small step forward, leaned in like he wanted to kiss me. Then, if you want to fool around, I can play along. I can be whatever you want. The others. I nearly laughed. Still not mad? Still willing to endure this? What if Jack Herbert hurt him one day? Would he still swallow it down? The mix of fury and pity twisted my chest. I shoved him. Mark Tyler, are you dense? Don't you get it? I said I'm sick of you. I don't want to come home and see your stupid face. Can't you stop being so? I stumbled. Couldn't find the right word. Nothing cruel enough. He looked at me, smiling faintly, bitterly. So, pathetic? I froze. Ramon, it's just that I love you so much. Please don't treat me like this. So much that he pretended not to smell the strangers on me. So much he ignored the flirting. So much he chose to stay. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. He gave me one last look, complicated, unreadable, and then walked out. I collapsed back into my chair, legs weak. System, that look, what did it mean? The system hesitated. Emotional module analysis suggests the target may be exceeding original script boundaries. Host, stay alert. Alert? Alert for what? After nearly a month of cold shouldering Mark Tyler, I followed the next plot marker, the bar called Vertigo. The system was ecstatic. Host, this is it. The climax. You and McLeod Bieber, the sultry lead singer, get handsy. Jack Herbert, conveniently present, snaps a few pictures. He sends them to Mark Tyler, who finally gives up and opens his heart to the good professor. Final heartbreak achieved. Mission cleared. Home, here we come. I sat at the bar, shot after shot, trying to drown out the original text flashing through my mind. Mark Tyler, wrapped in Jack Herbert's arms, separated by nothing but a thin door from the sound of his husband panting for someone else. After betrayal upon betrayal, he no longer feels anything. His heart has gone numb. He no longer pulls away from Jack's kisses, no longer flinches at his touches. Maybe it's time he trembled for the man in front of him, and never again cried for the one behind that door. Another drink. This was how it should be. Everyone gets what they deserve. McLeod Bieber was dazzling on stage, eyes like sin, voice like honey. After his set, he slid into the seat beside me, drink in hand. Mr. Bailey, care for a drink? I smiled. Your music's not bad. A few rounds in, he was touching my thigh, leaning in, his voice thick with promise. My songs are good, but I'm better. Want to do something more fun? Every instinct in me screamed to shove him off. Host, focus. Let him touch you. Jack's still watching. We need those photos. I gritted my teeth, looped an arm around McLeod's waist, pulling him closer. If you insist. I'd hate to be rude. He chuckled, feeding me another drink. From the corner of my eye, I saw him. Jack Herbert, tucked into a shadowy booth, glass in hand, gaze sharp and unreadable. He was watching. He lifted his phone, angled it our way, and took a few pictures. They were sent. Mark Tyler should be getting them now. Mission accomplished. But instead of relief, a hollowness gnawed at my chest. Mr. Bailey, McLeod murmured, annoyed I wasn't paying attention, drinks are boring. Let's find something dirtier. His fingers trailed across my chest, lips brushing dangerously close. I snapped back to myself just in time. Those weren't lips I should have been looking at. The thought of kissing someone else churned my stomach so violently I almost gagged. I couldn't do it. I turned my head away. McLeod Bieber froze, baffled. Mr. Bailey, what do you mean? I only smiled and patted his shoulder. What do you think I mean? Obviously we're moving on to the real show. I didn't have the luxury to overthink it anymore. I pushed and pulled him toward the lounge, making sure every step looked messy, urgent, like we couldn't keep our hands off each other. When I opened the lounge door, I angled my head just right, ensuring Jack Herbert would catch a perfect profile shot of me pressed close to McLeod's back. McLeod was in the shower when I set the rest of my plan in motion. The idea was simple: give him a spiked drink so he'd fall asleep, then play some carefully curated ambience from my phone. Something breathy, messy, believable. Just enough sound for Mark Tyler and Jack Herbert to hear through the door. But the second I pushed the freshly showered McLeod onto the lounge bed, bang, the door was kicked open. I stared stunned. Mark Tyler stood there, face dark as a thunderstorm. His chest rose and fell sharply. His hair was a little messy. His eyes flicked past me to McLeod, who looked just as shocked as I felt. The system was equally bewildered. What's going on? He doesn't enter the room in the original plot. Mark didn't give me a second to react. He grabbed my wrist and dragged me out. Hey, who the hell are you? McLeod finally snapped behind us. Mark didn't even bother looking at him. He spat out a single word: cold, lethal. Get out. The fury in his eyes was so sharp McLeod's voice instantly died in his throat. He shrank back, silenced. Mark marched me through the bar, and people parted instinctively, cowed by the murderous aura rolling off him. He shoved me into the passenger seat and slammed the door. I glared at him. Mark Tyler, what the hell are you doing here? He let out a laugh, one with no warmth at all. If I hadn't come, you would have slept with him, right? Don't want me, but you enjoy playing rough with some random guy. Anger, shame, heartbreak, all tangled together until I couldn't tell them apart. So what if that's exactly what you saw? I snapped. I'm trash. I can't change, and I don't want to. You're the one pretending you're blind. If you want a divorce, fine. Split the assets however you want. I'll walk out with nothing. The car screeched to a stop on the side of the road. Mark turned his head slowly, eyes pitch black. You're asking me for a divorce? The fury rolling off him felt like it could erupt at any second. But it didn't. Instead, he bowed his head, burying his face against the steering wheel. His shoulders trembled, breath heavy, uneven. He was shaking. Maybe it was the alcohol, but something in me cracked too. A divorce? I shouted, voice breaking. Jack Herbert is a good man. You'll be happy with him. You and I aren't on the same path. What else am I supposed to do? Mark raised his head. After the rage came a terrifying calm, too quiet, too steady. One question, he said softly. He's good. What does that have to do with me? That's the reason you want to shove me toward him? The reason you're leaving me? There was nothing I could say that wouldn't hurt. He stared at me for a long moment, then leaned back, rubbing his forehead with a shaking hand. Call a driver. I shouldn't be behind the wheel right now. Whatever exploded inside him that night vanished by morning. He didn't question the bar incident, didn't press about my late nights, didn't argue. His calm scared me more than his anger ever could. The system nearly had a meltdown those first few days because the storyline had veered off course. But once it saw Mark's new attitude, it perked up again. Host. This is the beginning of emotional burnout. Despair. Hopelessness. He's given up on you. Just wait. Once Professor Herbert offers comfort, Mark Tyler will accept it and divorce you. The iconic scene is coming. Iconic scene. Is the legendary POFIC climax, where I pass out drunk while Jack Herbert kisses Mark Tyler on our marital bed, whispering, "Darling, when will you get the divorce? I don't want to be the other man anymore." Truly, breathtakingly immoral. The system rambled on, but all I could focus on was Mark Tyler's back as he cooked dinner. Something about it made me want to tear my own hair out. I should have been thrilled. This was the finish line. I was so close to going home. So why did it hurt? Why did it feel like sand was grinding inside my chest? That night I found myself obsessively tracking Jack's schedule. The system groaned. "Host, can you calm down? Jack's at an academic conference in a nearby city. He'll be back tomorrow, and according to the plot, he'll approach Mark Tyler that very night." Lovers reunited after a short separation. Shut up. The next morning, Mark fixed my tie, gave me a soft hug, and whispered, "Ramon, come home early tonight? I have something to tell you." Tonight. The night of the so-called iconic scene. Did they really need me passed out on the same bed to feel truly sinful? My stomach twisted. But the look in his eyes, gentle, hopeful, made me mumble, "Okay." I came home early. Mark practically beamed when he opened the door. Only then did I notice the table, full of all my favorite dishes, candles glowing softly in the center. A farewell feast? Celebrating his soon-to-be single life? Or was he just in a great mood thanks to Jack Herbert? The jealousy boiled so violently I felt nauseous. "Wash up, Ramon. Dinner's ready." He was doing this for someone else. The thought stabbed me, and I drowned that stab with alcohol, lots of it. Every glass he poured, I emptied. He rested his chin on his hand, watching me through the candlelight, eyes warm as spring. I felt dizzy just looking at him. Drunk and reckless, I slurred, "Don't worry. I'll sleep like a rock. Not gonna wake up, hic, not even once tonight." Wouldn't dare interrupt his romantic night with Jack Herbert. His smile curved deeper. "Is that so, Ramon? That's perfect then." Perfect. He was happy I'd be unconscious? Rage surged. I pushed up to stand, ready to snap, but my legs gave out and I fell back into the chair. Mark caught me, steadying me gently. Then he picked up the glass I'd been drinking from, drained the leftover wine, and leaned in. His lips pressed to mine, firm, possessive, as he tipped the warm liquid into my mouth with his tongue. His voice was low, dark, and amused against my lips. "Drink it all. Don't waste it." I added something. "Took me days to get it." "What did you put in it?" Mark pulled back slightly, watching the horror dawn across my face. His smile was brilliant. "A special treat for you. You've been so disobedient lately, always making me angry. So you need something to help you listen." The system shrieked in my ear. "It's over. It's over. The plot has collapsed beyond repair." I lifted my hand. The cold metal of a chain clinked softly. Only now did my sluggish brain catch up. I'd been locked up by Mark Tyler. I lay naked in the sheets, and he kissed me inch by inch. Kissing turned into biting, light nips, sharp stings. My skin was covered in flushed marks, damp everywhere his mouth had been. I struggled, breathless, swearing at him. "Mark Tyler, are you out of your mind?" He laughed under his breath. "Oh, I'm completely gone. You're always saying, no, can't, not interested. Let's see just how uninterested my Ramon really is." I never knew Mark Tyler could be this vicious. It hurt. God, it really hurt. He pinned my hands above my head and shoved his tie into my mouth. His movements grew rougher. "You said you liked obedient ones. So I acted obedient. But you're not obedient. So, why should I pretend anymore?" His voice stayed painfully gentle, even as he bit down on my collarbone hard enough to make my eyes blur. "I watched you fool around with all those nobodies. Told myself to endure it. To wait until you were done playing. To wait until you came home to me." Another heavy bite. "But how dare you ask me for a divorce? Baby, are you trying to kill me? I see you standing in front of me, thinking only about how to get away from me, how to run to someone else. I want to lock you up. Make sure you can only look at me." He was completely unhinged. He covered my mouth, left marks in the bathroom, on the balcony, on the couch, in the study, everywhere, like he needed to brand me into existence. Breathing ragged, he whispered like a man possessed. "Is it fresh enough now, baby? Does it feel good? Look at you, your whole body's reacting." What was I supposed to do? I should have ordered the system to knock him out immediately, shock him unconscious, drag him away. But when I saw his eyes, red, devastated, trembling, I couldn't. He looked too heartbroken. His voice quivered in my ear. Ramon, don't leave me. I know I'm terrifying like this, awful like this, but hearing you say divorce, imagining you with someone else. I can't take it. Please don't hate me. I pressed a weak kiss to his eyelid and wrapped my arms around him. My voice was hoarse. Why are you crying? Shouldn't I be the one crying right now? Faced with the depth of his breakdown, I felt like I was losing my mind too. Kissed me. Do you love me, Ramon Bailey? I kept begging him to slow down, be gentle. He didn't listen. He wanted an answer and wouldn't back off until I gave it. Finally, defeated, I said, I love you. Love who? You. Say it closer. Mark. Baby. I love you. He froze for half a second, then kissed me harder, deeper, like he wanted to melt into me. I had a long, tangled dream. It was my 19th birthday. The house was bright, warm. My mom cooked all my favorite dishes. My dad, my brother, and my friends decorated the living room, whispering about surprising me. Driving home, I felt like I could float. At a red light, I stopped. That's when I heard it. A couple screaming, shattered with panic. My child. Bring my child back. A man was dragging a struggling boy toward a van without plates. The door slammed. The car shot forward. The parents chased after it until they collapsed. The mother fell hard. The father dropped to his knees, smashing his head against the pavement in despair. The van sped past me. The back window wasn't fully shut. I saw the boy pressed against the glass, mouth covered, tears flooding his eyes. I knew I shouldn't go. My family was waiting. The cake had a 19 candle on top. They were waiting for me to come home, blow it out, and make my wish for everyone to be happy and safe. All I had to do was turn the wheel. If I didn't go, that kid might never go home again. Might never get to make a birthday wish. My pulse hammered against my ribs. I slammed the gas and followed the van's trail. Hello? 911? I just witnessed a kidnapping. The vehicle is, they're heading east outside the city. I kept a safe distance, talking to the police the whole time. The officer on the line kept telling me to stay back, be careful, they'd be there soon. But the van kept turning, avoiding cameras, heading into an abandoned industrial area. They knew this route well. Did that mean there were more children? My heart sank. They noticed me eventually. Cars shot out from a side road, one in front, one behind, ramming into me without hesitation. The world spun violently. Through the blur, I saw red and blue lights flickering on the horizon, piercing the darkness. Then everything went black. And then, I woke. I heard everything around me. Felt someone wiping my body. But I couldn't open my eyes. Ramon, please wake up, look at mommy, please don't be so cruel. Son, your father hasn't seen you get married yet. What are we supposed to do if you leave us? My brother sat by my bedside, talking about home. Promising to take me to play basketball when I woke. Saying he wouldn't fight with me anymore. He'd even give me his treasured game console. I heard it all. But I was trapped inside a body that wouldn't move. Until the glowing system orb appeared in my consciousness. Binding host, Ramon Bailey. Mission, travel through small worlds, play designated roles, earn points. When points reach quota, physical recovery can be redeemed. So I followed it. World after world. I played the snobbish friend who betrayed the protagonist. The malicious villain who tortured the lead. The pitiful cannon fodder who died unloved. I detached easily. No emotions. That made the points rack up fast. Because I just wanted to go home. Ramon. Someone's voice, urgent, shaking, dragged me out of the dream. I opened my eyes. Mark Tyler's face hovered above mine, full of worry. He cupped my cheeks. Nightmare? Why are you crying? Only then did I realize my face was wet. Too many people were waiting for me. So what do I do now, Mark Tyler? The system finally reached a verdict. The plot had collapsed. Mark Tyler wouldn't divorce me. Wouldn't fall for Jack Herbert. Meaning I couldn't complete this world's mission. Meaning I couldn't go home. Months of work. My finish line so close. Ruined in an instant. The system tried to comfort me, saying it would consult its higher UPS. That there must be another way. That I shouldn't panic. Then it went silent. 1 day passed. A week. A month. 3 months. Nothing. That's when real despair set in. But I couldn't blame Mark Tyler. None of this was his fault. I couldn't blame anyone. I was the one who fell first. Who lost control. Who ruined everything. I lost my appetite. I stopped noticing things. I began to fade. Faced with the meal Mark Tyler had carefully prepared, I barely managed a few bites before the nausea surged up again. I vomited until the world spun and my limbs gave out. Mark caught me from behind as I collapsed. I felt him go still, his arms shaking as all the color drained from his face. Then he slowly dropped to his knees and pressed his face against the crook of my neck. "I'm sorry. Ramon, I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I was selfish. I never should have let it get this far." Over and over, he kept apologizing, his voice breaking with each word. "What do I have to do to make it better? Tell me, anything. I'll do anything, just don't be like this." He truly didn't know how to make the person he loved stop hurting. I looked down at his reddened eyes. Opened my mouth, but my throat was too dry, too tight. In the end, I just leaned on his shoulder, shutting out every emotion and letting the rest of the world fade. One ordinary day, Mark suddenly seemed full of energy again. He took my hand and walked me through the park where we'd had our first date. We visited the same little theater we used to love. We went grocery shopping like old times. That night, he cooked all my favorite dishes. After our bath, he took me to bed, again and again. He kissed me feverishly, like he wanted to melt me down, to etch every part of me into his bones. His movements were desperate, rough, like this was our last night on earth. I didn't know how long we went on. It felt endless, until we were both spent, the sheets soaked with sweat, hearts pounding. He cupped my chin and kissed me again, lingering and full of longing. His voice came out hoarse. "Baby, remember me. Please, remember me." He whispered, "I love you," in my ear, at least 10 times. Every word felt like a goodbye. A cold sense of dread coiled in my gut. I clutched his neck, trying to focus on his face, blinking hard. "What do you mean? Mark Tyler, are you leaving me?" He didn't answer. He only kissed me deeper. A tear slid from the corner of his eye, warm as it landed on my cheek. "Baby, I really do love you. I know. I know there was nothing between you and Dominic Bell or Ben Alexander. I was selfish. I installed cameras, at home, at your office. I watched everything." His words shook. My heart cracked with each one. "That singer, when I saw you too, I panicked. I lost it. That's why I hurt you. I'm sorry, Ramon. Please don't hate me." His voice spiraled, tangled and broken. I gripped his waist tighter, hugged him as closely as I could. "Why are you telling me this? Mark, what are you trying to do?" I tried to kiss him again. But his voice, his warmth, were already slipping away. I reached for him, fought to hold on. But I couldn't. His last words reached me like a whisper in the dark, trembling. "Ramon, I really love you. Don't forget me. Dad." Ramon's awake. He's awake. He really woke up. Doctor, it's not a dream this time." The sharp white light made my eyes squeeze shut. It took a while to adjust. My mom, dad, and brother surrounded me, hugging me through tears. I was home. I'd really come back. Recovery was long, boring, slow. I had to relearn how to move in my body. My muscles had wasted away. I needed physical therapy. Even my speech had to come back in pieces. My family never left my side. Friends came in shifts to visit. Life, somehow, went back to normal. And yet, I still spaced out often. Was Mark Tyler ever real? If he was, then when I vanished in the end, did he see it as another betrayal? Another abandonment? He must have been devastated. The system never returned. It disappeared along with everything from that fragmented world. Sometimes I wondered if it had all been a dream during those 3 years of unconsciousness. A dream too vivid, too cruel. But my instincts told me otherwise. Certain foods made me freeze. Certain phrases made my chest tighten. I'd reach out for someone who wasn't there. I remembered everything. I just never saw him again. A year later, I was mostly recovered. I returned to school and finished my degree. After graduation, I joined the family business as expected. One day, I mentioned wanting to move out and live on my own. My parents exchanged a glance and nodded. Mom smiled gently. "You're all grown up, Ramon. It's natural to want your own space." Dad patted my shoulder. "Being independent's a good thing." Only my brother, Frank Bailey, flipped out. He dragged me aside. "What? The mansion's not big enough for you anymore. A few hundred square meters still not enough? Why do you need to move out? How am I supposed to feel safe with you living alone?" I rubbed my temples. "Bro, I'm in my 20s. I'm not a kid anymore. I can take care of myself. I'm staying in the same city. It's like 10 minutes by car. What are you even worried about?" Frank pounded his chest like he was trying to settle a heart attack. Then his eyes narrowed. He looked suspicious. "Wait, are you seeing someone? Is that it? Some girl you're hiding from us? Come on, who is she? Let your big brother check her out first." I froze. No matter how much time passed, no matter how I tried to live a normal life, the hole in my chest never healed. I smiled faintly, a little sad. "No, bro. Not a girl." "Ah, I'm gay. I like men." Frank's eyes went wide. "What? Since when? Weren't you writing love letters to that curly-haired girl in high school? When the hell did this happen?" I lowered my gaze, avoiding his searching eyes. "I think it happened during those 3 years I was stuck in that hospital bed," I murmured. "I had this long dream. I met someone really, really wonderful. And then I wasn't straight anymore." I paused, then added, firmly, "There's no going back, Frank." Frank Bailey's expression shifted, shock, confusion, and finally, quiet heartbreak. He reached over and gave my hair a rough tousle, voice hoarse. "You dumbass. The doctors already told us. All those strange things you remember, they were dreams. You can't keep getting stuck in them." But that wasn't a prison. It wasn't what trapped me. I just missed him too much. I bought an apartment with a huge sunlit balcony and decorated it exactly like the home I remembered. Time may not heal everything, but at the very least, it teaches you how to live with longing. As long as I remembered him, he still existed. After work, I carried a bag of groceries up the steps to my building. Around me, people were heading home. The street buzzed with the familiar rhythm of cars, laughter, and mundane life. Everything was completely ordinary, until a voice I hadn't heard in forever echoed inside my head. "Long time no see. My heart slammed to a stop. For a moment I forgot how to breathe. Then turn around. My blood surged all at once, roaring in my ears. I turned, stiff and slow. The evening sun stung my eyes, so I squinted through the golden haze. And there, just a few steps away, stood the man I'd seen in my dreams 1,000 times. Mark Tyler. He was standing there so naturally, so calmly, like nothing had ever come between us. Like he was just waiting for me to come home, the way he always had. My eyes blurred instantly. "I traded in all my points," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "The system said I could use them for permanent residency. So I cashed them all in, for a one-way ticket to find you." He stepped forward, opened his arms. "So if you don't want me, then I'll be truly pitiful. Ramon, you haven't forgotten me, right?" I couldn't speak. I lunged into his arms, crashing against his chest. I clung to him tightly, burying my face in his shoulder, breathing in the scent I'd memorized 100 times. He was warm. He was real. He was alive. I didn't forget. I never forgot. How could I? I sobbed, my voice breaking. Mark Tyler chuckled lowly and held me tighter. He tilted his head and kissed me, smiling against my lips. "That's good. My sweet Ramon. I'm here." The setting sun stretched our shadows across the pavement. 2 figures folded into one. Never to be separated again. Extra, Mark Tyler's POV. Before that thing called the system ever approached me, I already knew something was wrong with Ramon Bailey. He looked at me with warmth in his eyes. He'd tuck the blanket over me when I slept. He'd awkwardly feed me medicine when I caught a cold. He remembered every single one of my preferences. But then he'd say the cruelest things. Put on these terrible performances of infidelity, like he wanted to drive me away. It didn't make sense. Still, I told myself it was fine. Whether it was real or fake, I didn't care. I loved him. That was enough. Then the system came to me and said, "Your Ramon doesn't belong in this world." It called what I was experiencing awakening. Because I refused to follow the plot, to fall in love with Jack Herbert and leave Ramon. It said I had caused his mission to fail. He couldn't go home anymore. Back to that home with his parents, his brother. That home where people waited for him. The system's voice was cold and clinical. If you don't let go, he'll be stuck here with you forever. Of course, he'll be in more and more pain. Let go? I didn't even know how to explain how deeply I loved Ramon Bailey. My obsession with him ran deeper than blood. If I could, I would have chained him to my side for eternity. But I'd seen it more than once. He'd cry in his sleep, whispering about his parents, his brother, about wanting to go home. That's when it hit me. The one I loved was suffering. His tears burned away every inch of my possessiveness. My love was never meant to be a cage. So I asked the system, what do I need to do? I'll do anything, just let him go home. The system was clearly surprised by how fast I answered. You'll have to give up all your luck. You're one of this world's protagonists. I can forcibly rewrite the narrative to send him home. But you'll lose your main character status. You'll become ordinary, vulnerable, a background figure. Are you sure? Protagonist status? I didn't care. Take it. But I have one request. State it. Let me go to his world. I pleaded. No matter what it costs, no matter what form I have to take. Please, give me a one-way ticket to his world. The system went silent again. This time for longer. Finally it said, fine. I can bind you to the mission network. You'll serve in different small worlds, earn points, and exchange them for that one-way trip. But Mark Tyler, even if you go, there's no guarantee he'll remember you. That world might not even have a place for you. I looked down at Ramon Bailey, who even in sleep looked like he was ready to run, his eyes damp at the corners. That's okay. I kissed him. I claimed him. I left marks on him like I was mad. I listened to him tremble, whispering, I love you. In that moment, I tasted heaven and hell all at once. Baby Ramon, remember me. Okay. The end.
Thanks for stopping by. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos.